Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today, in the background, I am going to be ore farming the entire time because I need ore on my wizards. But, in the foreground, in what you're going to be listening to, I'm going to be talking about a topic I got recommended in the comment section of my last video. And that is, what treasure cards are worth using in PVE in Wizard101? And I think this is a pretty important question because I feel like King's Isle makes treasure cards seem like a big deal when realistically you don't even really use treasure cards all that often. Like, treasure cards are a very rare thing to use, to be honest, unless for a few exceptions, right? And King's Isle, I feel like, doesn't really point that out, which is kind of a mistake in my opinion. I think they should definitely point out. Did someone already loot this realm? For fuck's sake. Yeah, someone already looted this realm. Alright. Well, I'm going to be sitting here until my realm changes. But anyways. What treasure cards do you use? What are worth using? Should you use them? All those questions will be answered right now. This is probably going to be a shorter video because it's not that complicated of a question, really. Should you use treasure cards? The answer really is no. A lot of treasure cards just aren't worth it to use. It's just much better to use normal cards. But there's one big exception to this, and that is monstrous treasure cards. The reason that exception exists is because you can buy them at any level as long as you can get to the trainer. And if you can trade them to a lower level character, they're extremely useful to use all the way up until you can actually learn Enchants and Celestia. Definitely, in my opinion, worth it to get monstrous TC at level 1. I always have and I always will. It's just incredibly useful to do. If you've seen any of my Let's Play series, you know I use them the entire time because they're really, really that useful. Sorry for being a bit sniffly. I've been a bit sniffly the last few days. I think allergy season's kicking up. Yeah, so the main reason why you really want to use monster CTs at that low level is it makes spells like Fire Cat, which usually do 100, do about 300 damage, which is just super useful, especially later on, right? Because, or not later on, but basically anywhere from Marleybone to Mushu to Dragonspire, it's really useful because you can make those spells actually do a fair amount of damage at that level. And really, like, say, on my balance, I didn't really have to use anything besides Scorpion up until Marleybone, right? Which is just really, really useful. I think it's a really, really useful thing to do. But, what about, you're looking for ore, aren't you? I'm already here. Esme, huh? I'm already here. What you gonna do, huh? What you gonna do? Yeah, there's nothing back there. I already looked. Alright, so, as I was saying, besides that, though, what other treasure cards are there? Someone's already looted this realm. This is really, just so you know, ore farming in this game is extremely painful if there's multiple people doing it, which during double reagents, there is going to be multiple people doing it. I'm going to see if my death has ore instead, and then move on with my life. Sorry, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Besides that, what other treasure cards do you really want to use? Well, it depends on what you're doing, what you're farming, whatnot. But one treasure card I would definitely recommend stocking up on and having a bit of would be Convictions. And the reason for that is that Conviction is incredibly useful for bosses that will stun you and do stuff like that. Stun block and crit block is just incredibly useful. So, what I would recommend doing, especially if you watched my Darkmoor fight, you know that Yevgeny, it's a really good idea to do that with. You want to stock up on some Convictions, and then use them during fights that will have a stun block. It's incredibly useful. Trust me. Another treasure card I would recommend, and these are two treasure cards I'd recommend, is Cleanse Charm, because that is incredibly useful if you have a weakness or a fight that does a weakness. For example, what's his name? The guy in level 90, Gladiator Demacaris. He has a minus 75 weakness tied to his natural attack. I would definitely recommend packing Cleanse Charms for that. And then also packing either Pierce or Shatter. I definitely think Shatter's the better option. I don't have any on my death, but I would definitely think Shatter is the better option. It removes all shields. This is for ice bosses or bosses that cheat with a constant shield on them. So, for example, in Mirror Lake, the final guy, or not the final guy, the second boss, he puts a thing on him every round. Definitely would recommend that. How many ore? Oh my god, okay. Don't need ore. Do I have Vine? I do have Vine. Do I have Perfect Sapphire? No, that's okay. I don't need it. Oh, I should have looked if I had Antiquities. Whatever. Basically, those cards can be incredibly useful in certain battles. And you definitely want to look up the cheats of most things prior to doing them. So what I would recommend doing is looking up what quest you're on in the Wizard101 like wiki, the Wizard101 Central wiki. And it has a next quest button, and just follow along with the quest and look at the bosses. Or look up the world quest tree, and Final Bastion has a nice little guide where it says what bosses will cheat and whether they have a major cheat or minor cheat. Look that up. I just heavily recommend it. It's so useful to be able to know that stuff and to be able to counteract it, right? Because I definitely know it can be difficult if you're going through the game for the first time and you don't know any of the cheats. So really, that's all I wanted to go over this video, was what treasure cards are useful. I would recommend those specifically in PvE. I don't really think like using like damaging treasure cards or like spells. I don't have a lot. Like, say, right, as a myth, I wouldn't use Otomo Fury as a treasure card. I just wouldn't. It's just not worth it. I don't think damaging treasure cards are really ever worth it. I don't know. I just find them to be not very useful. But you can feel free to disagree with me in the comments. Let me know if you use them. Let me know if this was helpful to you. Definitely what I said are the ones you want to use a lot. So let me know. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you all for watching. Sorry for the sniffles again. And have a fantastic day.